Tuesdays in the shop. I am Andrea.
And I'm Jen.
Yay. And we're coming from Gotham Quilts. And tonight we're going to tell you about something that we've been working on. We've had for a little bit. You might have already seen some on the website. You might have also heard me talking about them last week. We have new solids. So we have all of the colors of the Art Gallery Pure Solids and the Riley Blake Confetti Cottons. We are also still carrying the Free Spirit Tula Pink Solids as well, like we have this whole time. We've carried Riley Blake. We've carried a lot of Riley Blake solids for some time now, but this is the first time we've actually had every color. And in December, they came out with about 50 new colors, which really helped to round out their palette. They definitely had some holes before they came out with these new colors. But now I think it's a pretty good, pretty complete palette. It doesn't have some of the nuanced, kind of more fashiony colors. Riley Blake does tend to kind of be, it's almost like it's the 120 crayons in your crayon box. Like those are kind of Riley has that down. But Art Gallery has the weird gray pinks and, greeny blues and the very subtle, sophisticated kinds of colors that don't easily fall into, orange, yellow, pink sort of thing, which I think is exciting. And some of the colors are just so pretty. So I have been playing with these solids for the past couple weeks, putting together new bundles, recreating some of the old bundles we used to carry, and doing a couple kits as well. So I've kind of been immersed in this solids world basically since we got back from QuiltCon, and I want to tell you about it today. So, also the other important thing about this, part of why we chose these two solid lines was because we can offer you color cards. Because you're shopping online and you can't really see the color on the screen, it's so hard to find the right color for your project and to know what's going to match and what you're going to get when you order online. It's kind of just like a crapshoot. So to help solve that problem, we have, oops, that was upside down. We have an Art Gallery color card, which includes all of the solid colors in actual fabric. So here you can.
It's my favorite part.
I know, I love color cards. Like I get a little crazy for color cards. So here you can see, you can just get a little taste here of some of the colors they have. They are a little bit, it's a little hard to tell from this, but the blues are a little bit lacking. They don't, there's not even a straight up royal blue. This one is royal cobalt, but it's actually pretty purple. So that's one area where it's a little bit lacking, but then come over here. Why is that happening? This way. No, the other way. Why doesn't that work? Yeah, this way. Okay. So here you can see some of these purples that, like this one especially. So that might look gray on the screen.
Yeah.
It's actually, that one is kind of gray. But like this one here, that one is Bewitched. And it's this just really pretty pinky purple, but dusty that you're not going to find in that 120 box of crayons. It's a beautiful color, but it just isn't that kind of primary, easily described color. And that's what they do so good at. Also, you can see all these oranges and greens, a lot of these, like I said, fashion colors. But, quilters like fashion too. And we always like having new colors and what's to be doing what's in and that kind of thing. And who doesn't like more color options? We also have the Confetti Cottons color cards. So Riley Blake, their brand name for their solids is Confetti Cottons. And so this is the brand new color card that just came out, recently, that includes all bundles that they came out with in December. So it says now there's 186. Actually, does this one say how many there are? I don't remember. We counted it at one point. It's about the same. It's about 180.
162.
162? Okay. So not exactly 162 and 186. And between the two of them, you're going to be able to find just about every color. So this one is a little bit, this one is even more unwieldy than the other one. Let's see how confused I can get here.
But look at how deep their blues are, how many they have.
So where the art gallery did not have a great deal of blues, we have a ton of blues here and quite a few greens. And they rightly used to have a whole, like they didn't have a dark green, like a hunter green or a Christmas green, like they didn't have it. But now they do. So now they've got this, this one actually is called hunter green. No, sorry, this one is Christmas for Timberline, actually. I can't read upside down. That one's forest, this one's Christmas green. Yeah, so they do, so now they have a dark green, as well as lots of other colors as well. So I'm not sure if you can tell from this, but you can see, like, they definitely have a royal blue. They have straight up purple and pink and let's see, there's even more on the other side. And your neutrals, your grays. I think that's that. Yeah, we got the purples and the pinks over here. So it is still a pretty extensive line. And they do have some of the kind of gray pinks, but just not as many. So like they do have some fashion colors, but it's just not as thorough as the art gallery. But when you put them together, you're going to be able to find just about whatever color you need. So this way you can order the color cards. You can order one or both, and then you will know exactly what you're going to get when you order a solid online. So both of these are available. I don't remember how much they are, but it will pay for itself, I guarantee, in not ordering the incorrect colors. I can't tell you how many times I've personally done that. So this way you don't have to worry about that.
It's so hard to get the right color. And sometimes, like, I've had it where I bought like 5 or 6 yards because I needed that much, and it's just not right. And it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's very frustrating.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm very particular about color, and it has to be right. And if you're not that bothered by it and like, oh, it's close enough, then maybe it's not a big deal for you. But yeah, to me, it has to be the right color. And speaking of which, I want to show you the bundles that I've been obsessing over for the past 2 weeks and finding just the perfect color for each of these. So I'll start with the ones that existed before. So we have citrus. So this we used to have a citrus bundle. So I recreated that in the new colors that we have, and it's so saturated and just like bright. You can almost taste it on your tongue, like a sour kind of. It's just that like juicy looking. These colors are just gorgeous, which I know it's hard to see on the screen, but they are gorgeous.
They glow. That bundle glows.
Yeah, that one really does. And this one also glows, the Sunset bundle. This is one we've always had success with. If you've seen our Skyline quilt that was hanging in the store, it's similar color scheme, ranging from bright yellow down to a dark purple. And it's so luscious. So those were two that already exist. Oh, the next one is Wilderness. So this one existed before as well. So this is, browns, range of greens, and some blues, as if you were out in the forest. The kind of colors you would see if you're doing a landscape or something. This might come in handy for that. Peacock was the other one. And this one I loved. This one also just closed, which, yeah, that picture doesn't do it justice at all. they're just gorgeous. This top one is a beautiful, rich kind of teal emerald green. Yeah, I don't know what at least my screen is not even close to what this actually looks like. It is gorgeous.
This is why it's so hard to buy them online, because it depends on the camera and the lighting, and then however your screen is set, like
exactly
a lot of variables.
But it's so I can't. I'm like dumbfounded at how different it looks on the screen, because it looks so dull on the screen, and it's so rich and vivid in real life. So that was Peacock. So I think all the other ones are new. We do still have the Tulip Pink solids. This is the unicorn poop solid. So this is all of her. This was her new release, but we have all the original Tulip Pink colors plus the unicorn poop and the dragon's breath. So that hasn't changed. Those are still there. One of my favorite new ones is, I think I'm calling it Adventure. I couldn't decide between retro or adventure, but I think you'll understand here. So it's like a navy teal-y kind of, and then aqua golds into orange and red. I think of like, I don't know why, but I think of like a van or something with like the stripes down the side and
like arcade colors.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I don't know. But I love this one. This is one of my favorites.
I'll have to find you a picture of my mother's van.
Did she have one like that?
In the 70s, indeed she did.
Nice.
It was the most mortifying ride I've ever had to ride in.
I almost wanted to call it Retro Van. But that's not a good idea. Another one that I really like is I'm calling Neons and Neutrals. And again, you can't really tell from the picture, but this is like neon pink, neon teal, neon green, and then a just bright red and a bright orange, plus some very pale pink, pale green, and then some new, actually get it in the camera, and then some neutrals that go along with it. I think this would be so gorgeous, and it's really on trend right now. These bright pops seem to be really in.
Yeah.
Let's see, the opposite of the neons and neutrals is what I'm calling soft spring, which is just soft, soft, pretty colors, some nice pinks, kind of peachy pinks, my favorite neutral pebble, and some like soft teals and some more kind of they're not low volume if they're solids, but
now is that the art gallery pebble or the Riley Blake pebble?
This is the Riley pebble. Oh, right now we have both. So now I think there's literally 3 persimmons. There's a couple colors that show up, or color names that show up in all 3 lines, which makes it extra confusing. But yeah, the Riley pebble is one I use all the time. It's in this quilt. It's the neutral in this quilt. It just pairs really well with everything. It ends up pairing well with everything. I'm trying not to choose it and like spread it out, but I end up just going back to it over and over. But this is a nice soft one. And then let's see. Oh, autumnal. So this is loosely based on a bundle we had before called Desert. But I've added to it and added some more of these kind of golds that are really in right now. Some peaches, a soft green, and neutrals. But this is another kind of trendy palette. But they're just so pretty together.
It's so nice. And I need to come back up there.
I know, so you can play with these. This one
you don't need to make any decisions, just buy them all.
Exactly, yeah. So this one I'm calling Cotton Candy. This one is peachy pinks to bright pinks to cobalt, and then like to a very, very light blue. So this one's just a nice, pretty kind of ombre. And then the last 2 are this one, which I'm calling this one Cloudy Skies. This one is actually most of the colors from the Magritte quota, because they just look so pretty together.
Yeah.
These golds and then some neutrals and into blues and grays. It's a very kind of moody, a cool moody palette. And then I needed the corresponding warm, moody palette as well. So this one is Plum Honey. And
Ooh.
I really love this one, I have to say. They're not my colors, but I do love them. So these like pinky plum to really dark plum, brown, and then into the little pops of gold and light yellow. So I think together they look really nice together.
I think Yvette's going to need one of those bundles.
Yes, I thought of Yvette when I was putting this one together, and I do think she'll like it. I mean, I like it, and it's
I love it.
Yep. That was Yvette's 2 cents. So those are all of the new bundles that I have put together and had so much fun doing. I have said before, so that's just bundles, but if you're ever in a situation where maybe you don't have a color card, or maybe you bought something from us, I don't know, 6 months ago or something, and you need a solid to match, and you can't figure it out, or you don't have a color card or whatever, you can always write to us and say, hey, I'm trying to match this retro plaid I'm trying to match it with a red and a gray. Could you help me pick out colors that will match? And I am happy to do that. So if you're ever in that situation, I've actually put together whole quilts for people where they send the pattern, and then, you know, I had somebody that wanted to do a quilt in the colors of the Rebel Alliance from Star Wars. That one was really fun. So she sent me the pattern she was using. She sent me the Rebel Alliance colors, and then just let me pick out, you know, what she needed for that quilt. That one was fun. So those kinds of things I am happy to do. And if you ever need that, just let us know, because we know how hard it is to try to match things. And also, even if you have the swatch card, some of those swatches are so tiny, and looking at it, the piece this big is not the same as looking at a whole bolt and being able to really put them, you know, next to each other. So sometimes that can also be helpful. Yeah, so those are my bundles. And then we also have bundles from the manufacturer themselves. So we had these at QuiltCon. So everybody that saw us there has already seen these, but we have, and I just brought out a couple because there's a lot. So this is Riley. This is Confetti Cotton's Mint. And this looks so much bluer than it does in real life. These are actually greens. Very pretty greens. This one is purple. So that one's pretty self-explanatory, from blue purples to pink purples. And this one is gray. So grays, and then is that pebble on the top? It might be. Yep, I think that's pebble on the top. So even though it's sort of a browny gray, I guess it fit into this one better than it fit into because there's also a neutral one. So all of the Confetti Cotton bundles are 12 pieces, and they're all the same price. So they're all $36. So this is a great way to just get a range of solids. If you're working on a purple quilt, or, you know, your favorite color is purple, it might be a good idea to just get one of these and just have it on hand. That's one of the things that I've personally found. I don't have the solids on hand like I do prints, but you need solids to go with the prints, because a lot of times, like, too many prints is just too much. You need like a place to rest your eye, or to frame something, or to just kind of set something off. And solids are really good at doing that and kind of bridging different styles, and all kinds of valuable things. And if you already have them on hand, you can just go to your stash, pick out the color you need, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go online and order it. You're ready to go, and you can use it whenever you need it.
The other thing that the bundles are good for is if you're doing a purple quilt and you ran out of one of your purples. That happens a lot, and sometimes you can't figure out which one it is, but get 2 others that are close and use like 3 different ones or 4. Yep. And then it looks much more intentional, and you used a bunch of fabrics, and it's more interesting too.
Exactly. You get more variety, a little more interest. Yeah. And like in the neon one. So these 3 here in the center, those are all very light neutrals, but one is kind of an ivory, one is a white, and then one has a blue tint to it. when you put those all together into the background of something, it just gives you more depth and interest than just having a solid one color. And then also because the brights are so bright, it gives you a reason to look at the lights because they're not just flat. So the art gallery, the pure solids bundles, they're bigger. They're either 22 or 23 fabrics. So they are bigger, but they have a bigger range as well. So these are those moody pinks up here down to like grayish blues. This one is called, they don't name theirs color names. This one is crystallizing. This one is very pretty. This one is harvesting. That makes a little bit more sense. So this is peaches down to like burnt oranges and bright oranges, yellows and golds. So yeah, kind of a harvest theme on that one. But these are they're just so pretty. I could just pet them. I think Yvette got one of each of the art gallery ones to take home so that she would have all of the colors.
Smart.
And you can certainly do that. Just get one of each bundle, and then you're set. You've got a whole rainbow to choose from. They're fat quarters, so it's enough to do something, but it also could just be your kind of reference color, and then you know what you need to get more of. Oh, yes, Yvette just told me something super important.
I was going to say that. I was going to bring that up. That's one of my favorite things.
Yes, this is awesome. And I had forgotten how awesome this was, actually.
This is how art gallery became my favorite solid in one moment.
So honestly, I really love the hand of the art gallery solids. If you've felt art gallery fabrics, you've probably noticed that they have a slightly different hand. I think they call it brushed or something. And one of their mottos, their motto is feel the difference. And you can feel the difference.
They're like crisp. A little silkier almost.
Yeah, but they're they're crisp, but also really soft.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that. And the colors are just like, boom. Anyway, so they also print on their selvages. And in this case, actually, which is the one that says, so I don't know if you can read that, but Heart of the Ocean. So that's the color name. So if you are, let me do that again. Heart of the Ocean there. I don't know if I'm backwards. Oh, no, I'm not married.
I think it's good.
So Heart of the Ocean is the name of this color. So you'll actually know what color you have. So when you go through your stash and you pull out a bunch of random fabrics and like, oh, I don't know what this is. How am I going to order more of it? It's printed right on the selvage.
So smart.
Unfortunately, it's only on one of the selvages. So if you are getting fat quarters, you might not get the fat quarter with the name. But I think it's so great that they do that. I think all of the solid companies should do that because it's such a nice addition. But that's another reason to have the color card too. So if you pull this out and you don't know what color it is, you can line it up with the color card, figure out which color it is. Oh, Heart of the Ocean. And then you can go and order it and know that you're going to get that color.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for pointing that out, Yvette. Let's see, what else?
I had somebody, when I was doing a trunk show, they asked me why, like they noticed that as I progressed in my career, I started using more solids in my quilts. And I think that's what a lot of people, they wonder, like, why are you using solids? And for me, it was kind of got tired of having somebody else's voice on my quilt. I want my quilt to be much more me. I don't know if that's how you feel about it too, Andrea.
I honestly haven't put that much thought into it, but I have been making more solid quilts lately, which I haven't made that many quilts lately, I have to admit. But yeah, so the two quotas that I've done, those are both solids. I did an I always called it wrong, interwoven. That's the latest quilt I've actually made for myself. That's all solids. So yeah, I guess I have been using more solids.
And Tina pointed out that the art gallery is poplin.
Thank you, Tina. Yes, good point. Even though I have a textile background, sometimes the words, they either don't have a consistent meaning or they're not used consistently. And I just sort of kind of forgot about all of them. But yes, poplin is actually a specific type of fabric. Let's see. So we showed you the bundles, showed you the color cards. We do also have a couple new quilt kits that are just in solids. We have a couple new designers, which I should have grabbed the patterns for. Toad and Sew has the Sky Cabin, Sky Cabin pattern, which I'm in love with that pattern. And I should just grab it right now because I think it's right here. Watch it not be. No, it's not right here. So we have the Sky Cabin quilt. I did Book Nook. So Book Nook is a pen and paper patterns, and the Mod Diamonds, which is also pen and paper. Both of those quilts are recreations of the original colorways on the cover. So you can see those. And the Sky Cabin, that one I did in the art gallery solid. So there's two colorways of that. There's a cool and a warm. And the warm is very similar to this one. So this one was sort of pulled from the one colorway of the Sky Cabin. And I feel like there was another one, but now I don't remember what it was. But you can scan the QR code that is on the screen right now, and that will take you to all of our solids, yardage, bundles, kits, color cards. All of it should be on that page. So you can, well, it's probably multiple pages, but you can scroll through and find what you're looking for. And if you have any questions about any of these kits or products or solids, you can always ask us. You can put a comment in the feed here right now. You can send us an email, any of those things, and we would be happy to answer any of those questions.
Yeah, and so the Quota Quilt behind you and the other one, those are both a mix of both brands of
Yes.
solids. And I have to say, I put them together and so I was a little bit concerned about how is the one brand going to feel different to the other, and they blend beautifully.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about you can only use one kind with the other kind.
Definitely not. Yeah, this one actually blends 3 different brands of solids because a lot of these are, some of them are Tula Pink. This one is Riley Blake. This one is Art Gallery. So yes, as Jen is saying, you can absolutely mix them up, and it's not an issue at all. What else did I forget? This is one of my first times running the show.
I think that was everything that we had talked about earlier.
Okay, so I've shown you all of my fun stuff. If you have suggestions for other quilts you would like to see kitted, I'm up for that too. Always looking for new pattern designers and new kits, new products. Yvette is now asking me, do I have a favorite solid from the new ones? That's a good question. I think I have too many favorites. It's almost like children. I can't pick just one.
What's the name of the raspberry one behind you?
This one is Purple Wine, and I've used this in so many things. Free Spirit used to have a color called Razzmatazz that I used in all kinds of things, and they discontinued that color. But luckily, Art Gallery had a perfect match, and so I've been using a ton of it. It's used in Lovely Day. It's used in Quota. It's probably in several of these bundles. That's another one that I just keep finding uses for. That one and Pebble keep coming up.
I love that one. I think that one's my favorite.
I do really love that one. Some of the turquoise, the aquas in the Art Gallery are just gorgeous. I would like to do like an ombre, and I couldn't find. I think we might have sold out of the aqua Art Gallery bundle at QuiltCon, or I haven't unboxed it yet, possibly. But they're just gorgeous. And just as we were unpacking the boxes when the whole collection showed up, it was just like, oh my God, look at this one. Oh my God, look at this one. Look at these together. And just like putting them around, trying to get them up on the shelves and check them in and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. There was a lot of that happening when they were being unboxed. And again, let me just show you these color cards one more time, because I love color cards and I might be a little bit of a junkie. But like when you need to know a color, you need to know what it's going to look like. So we have the Pure Solids, which is the Art Gallery brand. So that's their brand. And it doesn't mean they are all 100% cotton, both the Art Gallery and the confetti cottons. So the fact that it says Pure Solids, that's just their branding. They're all 100% cotton. Pure, I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. So this is just, I'll try to hold it up a little closer here so you might be able to see a little bit better, but they're just so pretty to look at.
They are. It's funny, every time I open one up, I just kind of bliss out staring at it. I often will forget what it was that I was supposed to be working on.
Yeah, I kind of do that too. And then like open them all up and like put them, next to each other. And
I was going to say that I particularly love that they're actually fabric swatches, because sometimes you'll see a printed color card.
Yes.
And, they do as good a job as they can to print those colors, but it's not nearly as good as the actual fabric.
It's never the same as actual fabric. And what you can also do, so if anyone is familiar with the Kona color card, it's humongous and it has tiny little chips, like they're teeny tiny. These are at least 3 times the size of the Kona chips. And what I did with my Kona card that you could do with this one, I don't need it anymore since we don't carry Kona, is get one of the cards and cut it up. So actually, you can't do that with this one because it's double-sided. So that's a bummer. But
I think I want to cut mine into strips, not necessarily into singles.
Maybe. But yeah, cutting them in, cutting out each color with its name, and then you can move them around, organize them, put them with other colors, and really kind of get an idea of how they go together. But because this one is double-sided, I don't think that would work. I mean,
you just need to get 2.
Yeah, you could buy 2.
This is a problem you can solve.
That is true. But yeah, that's really fun too. And because also when you're looking at colors, the colors around it can affect how that color looks. So sometimes having all of the, all of the oranges right next to each other, like, is it this reddish orange? Is it this yellowish orange? Is it the gray? Like, sometimes that can kind of muddy the waters, but if you can pull them apart and just look at this orange with that blue without all the other ones around it, sometimes you can get a better idea of what you want to put together.
You can see that with the greens and the orange in quota behind you, because the one that's against Pebble looks much darker than the one that's against the green. There's only one orange, right?
Yeah, there's only one orange. Yeah.
One medium orange. There's the one that's kind of light.
Yeah, there's this one, but
they do look like different colors. They play with each other.
Yeah. And that happens. But yeah, and then I was trying to figure out how to cut this one apart earlier, but because they're actually loops, like it's the name is printed below where the fabric is actually glued.
So it'd be difficult.
So you could still do it, but you'd have to rewrite all the names.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something fun. You can also just tear them off. You could cut. Ooh, that's what you could do. So because these are folded, you could just cut off the back. So just cut right on the fold there, and then pull off the back so that you still have the front piece in your color card with a name on it, but then you would have tiny little swatches that you could also take, move around, take apart, and play around, put together palettes, do what you wanted to do. So that would be fun too. Maybe I might have to do that. But yeah, having a color card on hand it's so helpful, and it will pay for itself in not ordering the wrong fabrics, in not being as frustrated as you might be, as I am, when I don't get the color that I think I'm going to get. So having one of these can be a lifesaver.
Yeah, you want to do you want to try showing real quick, because most people have never used a color card, I think. Oh, hi, I'm Yvette. I was back running the video, but then Jen had to go, so I'm hopping in. What was I saying? Oh, if you have a piece of a print easy to find, I was thinking about how most of our customers have probably never picked a color by opening a color card before. Like, we do this all the time when we're picking fabric, but it's new for all of you, right? So it might be silly, but I wanted to show you what we literally do is we literally take a piece of the print that we're going to work with, and we physically put it on the color card to find the color that we like, where they play well with each other, or it accentuates the print the way that you want, whatever the focus you want to be.
So that's a great idea. So I found this print that has like a corally orange background, and then there's a ton of colors here, some purple flowers, rainbows, that sort of thing. But I'm going to try to find something to match that corally orangey background. So, and this is exactly what I do. Although I usually just do it with the bolts that are here because that's a little bit easier. But so I can open up my color card here. So first I'm going to start looking in this orangey range. And this is too orange. You probably can't see that from where you are, but that's too orange. That's clearly too light. I know there are some peaches on the back here. Let's see if one of these works. Oh, that's much better. So I think this top one is probably...
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's really good actually. So yeah, and even the one under it I think would also work in a pinch because there is so much color here. But yeah, and then so I found the background. Now I want to find that bright blue because I think those would look nice together. So I'm going to go to the blues. And let's see, try to get near a fold here. I think this one is probably pretty good.
Yeah, that looks good. And what would you pick if you wanted a contrast instead of one that matches?
Then I mean, that's kind of hard to do with just little swatches. Matching is one thing because you have the original, and by putting it next to another color, you can tell if it's going to match or not. But if you're trying to find something that goes with it, I've definitely done this where like I go to the color card and I'm like, okay, this one. But then when I actually get the bolt and I put them next to each other, it's like, not so much. So that can be a little bit tricky, but you can do it. Let's see, what should I? This one has so many colors, it's hard to say. Let's do. Yeah. I did grab another one.
Would you do a neutral? Because maybe. That one's so colorful.
Well, there are some nice neutrals in here. So some of those flowers are kind of like a creamy ivory. That you could certainly pick one of those out of these cards. We definitely have a lot of creamy ivories to choose from here. But here's another one that might work. So this is one of the new Allison Glass sun prints. This one's called Scatter. And I don't remember off the top of my head which color this is, but there's only one purple. So if I wanted to find like a gold or a green. So something that doesn't match but contrasts with this. Let's start with Riley first. I can find their purples in this giant card. Here we go. Oh wait, no, I'm not looking for purples. I'm looking for golds and greens. Forgot already. So I can hold it up and kind of see, well, yeah, maybe that one actually, the one that contrasts but isn't so bright and garish. Or maybe this light green down here.
Oh, I like that one.
To offer a little bit. Some of these over here might look good too. Or maybe some of the teals. Ooh, that might be. Ooh, here we go. Getting into like Miami in the 80s.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, usually you don't like those 80s pairings.
I usually don't, but yeah, but that's the vibe I'm getting right now for some reason. So yeah, you could do that. Maybe a brown, a nice neutral. Let's see how it looks with my friend Pebble. So this one is Pebble. Hard to say. Probably
yeah, maybe that's like a little too close in value. Like,
yeah, maybe. I think it would be better with the dark.
Yeah, I like it with the dark.
Something
better.
that, yeah, a nice rich brown. I think would be better.
I think
so that's how I use the color cards.
And if you all wanted us to help you pick, like Andrea had said, you could always email us and send us what you have so far and like the idea of where you want to go with it. So like in the case of that purple fabric, if you were pretty sure you wanted a dark sashing or whatever it is,
a dark, maybe, just a general ballpark. Yeah, let me know what you're looking for and I'll take a look. And if it's, even if it's a fabric you bought from us a while ago, I have a pretty good memory for most of our fabrics, and I might still be able to help you, even if I don't have it.
Yeah, and if you send us a picture, that really jogs our memory too, because even if the screen doesn't show us the exact color it is, when we see it, we have a mental picture of what the thing was. Yeah. Yeah,
or I might still have a scrap of something else that was in the collection that has that, something like that. So that is
we have pretty big personal stashes. So sometimes, we might even be able to find the actual fabric in our.
That's possible.
Yeah,
it's definitely possible. But yeah, I do have a fairly good memory for color as well. So if you send me that picture, even if the color is not accurate in the picture, I might still be able to be like, oh yeah, that was like a dirty yellow green, and be able to kind of go from that.
Yeah.
So that's always an option as well.
I'm so excited that we have all of these, and we should take a picture of the shelves because
they're so pretty. I have a whole room.
There's a whole. I mean, the room is small, but
that are just solids, and it's gorgeous. And I can walk in and just like, okay, do I need a red or a gray, and know where to go, and it's just all there.
We really love our solids. And
having the color cards is one thing, but if you don't have, if your buyer, if your store doesn't have all of the colors in the color card, it's not as valuable. But we are going to be carrying all of the colors in both of these lines. We might temporarily be out of a color, for a short amount of time, or every once in a while the colors go on back order from the manufacturer, but it will be back in stock. I think we just got the last 2 colors of the art gallery that were on back order. So we should have that full collection now. I think there might be 1 or 2 of the Riley Blake that I'm still waiting for. But in general, they are all here and ready to be sent to you.
Ready to be matched with something.
Mm-hmm. And we have some plans for doing things, giving you some inspiration of how to use some of these bundles and what to do with these colors that we're not quite ready to share, but that will hopefully be coming soon. Yeah, because that's another cool thing that we've been playing with lately. That
We have so much stuff in the works, and now that we're like getting into a new routine because we're home from QuiltCon, which like that was all we were thinking about for weeks, right? So now we're like easing back into what our new normal is.
Setting up a new space, going to QuiltCon. I'm still setting up and still unpacking, but it's a lot more normal now. And like, oh, I actually have time to put up another set of shelves or whatever, where we didn't before. So that's nice. And yeah, getting to work on some of these design things and putting bundles together, which is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Getting to do that stuff again is really nice. And I hope you guys like them.
Everybody seems pretty excited about all the solids. So hopefully,
I'm excited.
If you need a solid, we're here for you.
That's right. We got them. We got the Tula Pink. We got the Art Gallery. We got the Riley Blake Confetti Cottons. We got them. You need them, we got them.
All right. So if you would like to go check out all the stuff we've added, you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen right now, and that'll take you to the website, to the solids category. You could also just go to gothamquilts.com and go to fabric and click on solids to get to the same place. Mm-hmm. And when you're there, you can actually do like a filter on the left side. If you're on a desktop, there's a little menu on the left that you can change. But if you're on mobile, then it's towards the top. So you could look at just solids that are pre-cuts, or just solids that are kits, or just solids that are whatever it is. So you can find what you're looking for. And if you don't find what you're looking for, send us an email. Mm-hmm. We're happy to help anytime.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Do we have any housekeeping that we need to talk about? You said Stash Society is about to go out, right?
Stash Society is all packed up. It'll get picked up in the morning. Next is the Zoo Family. All the people that ordered the Zoo Family at QuiltCon, those solids just arrived today. So tomorrow, that is my main goal, is getting those shipped out. And then after that will be the Lovely Day block of the month. The final shipment for that is going to be hopefully.
This is a busy week for big shipments.
That's how it goes. But that's good. That it's good that things are going out the door, because that means we're selling them. So there is going to be a lot of cutting and shipping happening this week. So if you guys are waiting for any of those things, they are coming soon. And then next week we'll have something else for you.
We'll be back on Tuesday at 6:30, like we always are. Thank you for joining us. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but maybe I'll think of it next week.
Yeah. We'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Have a good night.